were talking to Kevin about how the left everything with them is either a racial issue, a gay issue, a feminist issue, a class issue, and we're talking about the whole shame in their game. Like,
well, I get asked the question, what is it? What should we? This is what a guy said to me. What should we be focused on? And I said, it's very simple. That politics on the left is either they're going to racialize it, right? I call it colorize it. Mm-hmm. So this kid Rittenhouse, perfect example. Oh, you want to talk about it? Yeah. So Rittenhouse is being called a white supremacist. Now, who did Rittenhouse shoot? 3 white guys.
3 white dudes. 3 criminals.
Now, ask yourself this question. What would this trial be if he shot 3 black guys?
Oh,
it wouldn't be happening. He'd already been convicted.
He'd be gone.
Over.
Yeah. It would be done. And same circumstances, but he'd be done, right? So all you got to do to figure out the angle is you colorize it. So he shot 3 white guys, and still he's called a white supremacist. Right. Now, that's not a good white supremacist if he's going around shooting the people that he's supposed to be feeling good
his
about.
His buddies. Those are his peeps.
Right. Those are his peeps.
The people, yeah.
So here's the problem. The left doesn't know how to spin it. They don't. And by the way, I remember when they said, "Oh, there's a second video of," and I saw the first one. Who cares what the second video was? This kid was running for his life.
Yeah.
This trial is a farce. It never should have been seen. But the only reason why we're seeing it is because he is considered a conservative, and the left. By the way, demon leftists, Antifa type leftists who were going out doing damage, and who's the bad guy here? Mm-hmm. The 17-year-old kid who did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the cross? Have you watched the prosecutor try to, he says things like, well, why were you running towards that building? Well, there was a fire. Okay, well, what was the urgency? And Kyle Rittenhouse's face, it was a fire? It's so stupid. Someone needs to make a compilation of the faces that Kyle Rittenhouse has made to the prosecutor, because he's like, dude, you're so dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I didn't watch it. I try not to watch as much left drivel as I can. But my wife watched it and said that and she's a legal beagle, and she says the prosecutor should have been sanctioned. But that's just one example. The other is we were talking about Hunter Biden off air, and you go, "Oh," and I don't know if you were joking or not, because I'm still debating.
Don't. Let's not say it on the air. Don't say what I said.
Just kidding. I'm gonna totally rat you out.
Right. So, but she obviously has a crush on Hunter.
Yeah. All right. This session is over. Thanks for coming. You have a great day. We'll
so Brandy, anyway, we're talking here still.
Yeah. Lindsay just got put in timeout.
Right. Well, Lindsay said, we said something. She goes, "Oh, poor Hunter Biden." And I know, it's tongue in cheek, but, poor Hunter Biden, a guy who gets kicked out of the military for drugs, gets caught in a DUI for drugs, cocaine, gets put into rehab, gets kicked out of that, can't finish it, gets out of rehab, marries his brother's widow, right? Screws around on her with a hooker / prostitute, has a baby with her, doesn't pay child support rather for the kid. Then he gets set up to become a mogul, right? He's got Ukraine business where he's made millions of dollars. He gets $3.5 million from a Russian oligarch's wife. He gets millions of dollars from the Chinese. He admits on camera he's working with the top Chinese spy, right? And
but Trump colluded.
Yeah.
Hello.
Trump colluded, the bad guy here is Trump. Yeah.
So when you talk about the race angle would be, I could give you a couple of angles. What if that were Donald Trump Jr.? How would we be? How would the media?
Same thing with Kyle. It'd be over.
How would we be handling that? Yeah. And if it were Donald Trump Jr., you could be guaranteed this would be a racist system because black people can't do that. Can you imagine a black man getting a deal? I mean, I could hear some congressional black circus clowns, just racializing this incident.
Yeah, he's using his white privilege and his daddy's money.
And it is. Yeah. And it's white privilege, it's class privilege, it's all that. Mm-hmm. So we as conservatives, it's our obligation to go out and talk about these things. And what I do is I look at the crazy world of this stuff and I just put it into comedy.
Mm-hmm. So good.
And what I try to do with it comedically is to Chappelle-esque. And I don't even want to call it that because I'm older than Dave. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this since I was a kid.
You look fantastic.
I do, don't I?
You get Botox and
black don't crack. I get Botox in my feet. Sorry. I like my feet to be smooth.
That's the thing.
Is it really?
It is. Dude, you can get Botox all over your body.
Oh my gosh,
you get it in your armpits,
you guys.
so you don't sweat. Oh, that's like
she can't even stop.
$20,000.
She can't stop.
Oh my gosh. Back to Botox.
Anyway,
back to Botox.
Right. My comedy is Botox.
Oh my gosh. I have
spread it out.
I have a whole thing around Botox.
No, so at the end of the day, I look at this crazy stuff And what I want my comedy to be is I want it to be funny, but I want you to think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say these clever little things. And here's the thing about my comedy sets. If you see it once and you think you got it, you can see it again and you'll go, I missed that. I missed this. I wasn't paying as much attention because I was still caught in this laugh.
Well, there's zingers after zingers, so you're laughing at one and he's already done 3 more.
Yeah.
Or you're running to the bathroom because you're peeing yourself.
Yeah.
Well, like what happened with Larry Elder, I think about this white woman in a gorilla suit throwing things at him. Speaking of leftist mob, calling him the new face of white supremacy. It's so next level.
Oh, yeah, it's insane.
So insane.
Oh, here's another one. What's her name? The Marine that got the lieutenant governor.
Yeah,
Virginia.
that just got elected.
Oh, geez, I know her name too, and I forget
too.
it. But anyway, she wins a black lady wins a statewide election in Virginia, and they call her the black face of white supremacy, right? And that's Michael Eric Dyson. He loves doing that. He's an idiot. He's a PhD that, quite frankly, has the intellect of a 5th grader. But he's all over the place, and he says the same thing about any black that dare speak out. See, I would go to battle with him, and I would crush that clown. He would never say something like that again once I got through with him.
There was an article, and of course I can't find it right now, but it's Winsome, Governor Winsome.
Yeah, Winsome Sears.
There was an article out on mainstream media that said, the caption was, why white supremacists are still taking their votes to the polls for black politicians.
I saw that.
Like, you're still a supremacist, even though you voted in a black governor. You're still
Well, I tell you guys,
racist.
All politics comes back to race, class, etc.
Perfect example. Yeah.
It's such a low-level argument.
It is.
All of it.
And the reason that they're going so low level is because they're running out of content. Like you can only call the same people racist so many times before.
Well, and that's why they're getting their butts kicked. And you're looking at poll numbers for Biden at 38%, which, by the way, is still. I think he's lower.
I do too.
And poll numbers.
That's if CNN is saying it. Cut that in half.
Oh yeah. I'd probably take it down 5-6 points. He's barely over 30. Right. But here's the other dirty little secret: he was never anywhere close to 40. Never.
No.
I mean, it's been a big cheat. So, look, I love this analysis, and I love when we get when we can make fun of it. I really do, and that's
you have to.
That's where my specialty is.
If you can't, you're crying or laughing sometimes, right? Laughter is medicine.
If you take them too seriously, we would all just be so depressed. So the best we can do is laugh at them.
Like I'm laughing at you two right
Hey, why?
Because you like Hunter Biden.
Oh!
Crush, you got to crush.
Hunter.
Admit it.
Poor
Just admit
Hunter.
I'm using him for his crack. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the She's So Right show with Brandy Barclay, Lindsey Graham, and today, Kevin Jackson.
Hello, white people.
Hello. Are you saying we don't have black listeners? So racist.
Yeah, that's right. You
98.4%
I
of
do
our
remember
listeners.
that one guy. Yep. Yep.
That one guy.
gosh,
it was
that one
you.
guy.
Remember what I said when I introduced the thing? I said, "Hey, white people," and I said, "And all the black people that I met yachting."
Oh my gosh, so fun. Yachting.
If there's any question, Kevin is black, so this is not
totally
racist.
black. 79%, according to my ancestry DNA.
Oh, what's the rest? The rest of you is racist. 31% of you is
That's the conflict within. Yeah.
This is why he's a conservative.
Yeah. 11% Irish.
Okay.
Black Irish, of course. And 10% Norwegian.
Oh,
interesting. Sven. My middle name is Sven.
So no Russian, though? Because you
No
do a
Russian.
killer Russian
No
accent.
Russian, unfortunately. No.
Oh, my gosh.
No Russian.
He does a great Hunter Biden crack.
Speak Mandarin for 3 seconds.
Ni hao. Tan hao.
Is this true?
Yes.
You're not making that up? It's not scripted?
No.
What? Okay. Let's just do this whole next
Smarter than he
segment
looks.
Just list all your talents. Go. A to Z.
Oh, no, I'm not going there. You don't have enough.
Jay is Jetson.
This is only a 6-minute segment.
Oh, we don't even have time for that right now.
Are
Oh, my
you
gosh.
kidding?
So, Linz, do your Jetsons. Do it.
So we're
yeah.
supposed to do it on the air. The pressure.
That's so good.
Do Snow White real quick.
It's really good.
You know, there's too much talent in the studio for me.
Right. Yeah, Brandy's got to go.
Of all the things.
So we were in the break. And by the way, Jeremy should just record what we do, and then you guys could cut it. But at least it's great B-roll if you want to do something after the fact. Because he's
our
funny
new
on
manager.
Air.
Kevin is he's applying for our new manager.
I'm funny on air, but we are funnier off air.
Wait till he hears what we pay.
To be honest. Yeah, right. I've already got those kind of
We
jobs.
are funnier off air. Darn it, you guys aren't there to hear how funny we are when we're not on the air.
We're gonna be live on YouTube and Facebook and all that soon, and then you guys get to hear the outtakes. Which,
that would. And I'm saying that's the stuff that people are gonna eventually want to get, right?
The good stuff.
So we were talking about the movie Hollywood, right? My movie, bleedingbluemovie.com. And so what happened, and the reason why I did what I did is because I'm a problem solver. My career when I left, my degrees are in electrical engineering, computer science, and math, and I designed computers. And then when I left that, I went into management consulting. Well, I sold IT services, and then I was finally a management consultant. So I was flying all over the world, meeting with the largest companies, talking to CEOs about, solving multi-billion-dollar problems. And when I got into this industry, I said, we got a massive problem. As conservatives, number one, our messaging stinks. We don't know how to message and market. We put our messaging in control of people like Zuckerberg, who hate us, Sergey Brin, all these guys, Bill Gates. They're completely antithesis to what the antithesis of what we want.
Yeah.
And I said, you better wake up. And I went to all these guys and said, you better do this. All the largest media outlets of conservatives in the country. And they all looked at me like I had three heads. So when I did my movie, it's a typical movie like anybody else in Hollywood. I want to get it made. So we did it, independently produced, and we went to distributors, and they go, so one of them says, well, you got to have $2 million. I said, I'll get you $2 million. Because I had a friend of mine, very wealthy guy, who would have done it just to
spite him. Yeah.
To put their faces in his crotch, $4
million.
Yeah, and so they go, oh, well, no, that's not going to do it. So they blew that off. And then the distributor said, even if we do it, Hollywood would be mad at us for doing it. So I didn't have distribution. Then the movie theaters were so expensive because you had to four-wall it. You couldn't do it the way Michael Moore did. My movie outsold every movie in the theater when I released it in 6 theaters. Every one, nationwide.
Crazy.
Wow.
And they wouldn't even talk about it. So that happened, and then I had theater owners tell me, I'm not going to show your movie. So I said, okay, I'll start a streaming service. So I started the Flick Fest, which is for independent film, the flickfest.com. It was for independent filmmakers, conservative filmmakers, anybody wanting to make a film that didn't want to go through Hollywood, that was not a Supergirl has to be gay because you think it's going to sell to placate the LGBT WTF. You remember that?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the notion of it. But Hollywood didn't want to show it. Then I got Paul Gosar, Congressman Gosar, said, Kevin, let's show it up in D.C.
Love him.
Nancy Pelosi would not allow my theater to be shown in the Congressional Theater.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
Wouldn't do it.
I hate her.
Doesn't she have bigger things to do?
Exactly. And you know why? Because it would have been effective. It was a meaningful film. It told the truth.
It's so meaningful,
against
you
the
guys.
agenda. Yeah.
And it's so great what it does because it's showing what the truth is about what police officers do and how this narrative is hurting our country, hurting law enforcement, and really keeping men out of that kind of work because they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's just men there.
Sorry.
Misogynists.
Oh, whoa, misogynist.
Yeah, but whether look, it's what it is. It was the truth, and there was parts in the film where we showed bad cops, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't run from that, but we said, but overwhelmingly they're good. And one guy left being Sammy Davis Jr.'s drummer to be a cop in the heyday.
Wow.
Are you kidding? It's a calling. It's like teaching.
Yes.
And these guys aren't, they want money, but they're not out every day going, we want more money so we can get, summers off and different fall breaks and all this other stuff. These are guys that are willing to put themselves in harm's way, many times ex-military, et cetera. So it wasn't a tribute film, but it was a good, truthful film about hot zones that were happening at the time. Ferguson, Columbine, a movie theater. I forget the other places, but that's what we did. And Hollywood nixed it. Congress wanted to nix it. It was insane.
What's the agenda for trying to nix the truth? That's what I don't understand. I mean, you just said that you show in the movie that there's bad cops because that is the truth. You don't have your own agenda with the movie.
No.
The agenda is the truth, and it's weird that they're trying so hard to silence it.
But it's not. The thing is, it's not just Bleeding Blue. It's everything we've talked about. It's CRT in schools. They want to demoralize young white kids, demoralize black kids, make us think they're giving us something when they're not. So you look at any of the agendas, and Bleeding Blue is just a metaphor for it.
Yeah, good job.